It's in 1905 when we encounter the difficult-to-believe saga of a man named William Lytle of San Francisco. Incident 99, March 14th, corner of Van Ness and Geary. Lytle slips on a banana peel, falls, and breaks his wrist. He remarks that he actually doesn't mind this so much because it gives him some time off from work he otherwise wouldn't have taken. Interestingly, he's not the only banana peel victim who said this. Sometimes, in their own way, they can do you a favor. Incident 100, 2 weeks later on Market Street, Lytle slips on another banana peel and takes an even worse fall, breaking his shoulder and knocking him unconscious. When he returns to work, his co-workers mock him for somehow allowing this to happen to him twice. Incident 102, 2 months later, while walking through the office, he slips on a third banana peel and re-breaks that same shoulder. And while nobody admits to it, he's fully convinced that someone dropped it there to taunt him. Incident 103, 2 weeks later, Lytle is getting ready for bed in the room he has rented on Post Street. He turns out the light, walks across the room, and slips and falls on a banana peel. Lytle pulls himself to his feet, takes another couple of steps, and Incident 104 slips and falls on another banana peel. He turns on the light to find several banana peels lying all across the floor. He's adamant that he did not put them there, and concludes that someone, for some reason, must have thrown them through the small open window above his door. Understandably, Lytle immediately moves out of that room and into a new place on Fillmore. He's carrying his things up the steps when, Incident 105, he slips and falls on a banana peel. In addition to his pre-existing injuries, he's now hurt so badly that he has to spend a couple of weeks in bed. At this point, there's no way he can tell anyone about this, except for his fiancée, who lives on Golden Gate Avenue. He trusts her to believe him. At this point, she does not. There's an argument, they have a falling out, Lytle blows off steam of the night on the town. Incident 106, he slips and falls on a banana peel on Powell Street and breaks his arm. Months later, it would seem that Lytle is still partying pretty hard. On April 18th, 1906, he's up until 5 in the morning playing cards on O'Farrell Street. This is where he finds himself when San Francisco is rocked by the historic and devastating 1906 earthquake. Bricks are falling from the building all over the place, but Lytle and his friends escape unharmed and take refuge in Golden Gate Park. The next day, Lytle manages to take a long detour around the city's ruins to reach his place on Fillmore and save a few of his things. Then, while carrying an armload of stuff, still manages to navigate the hilly terrain on his way back. Finally, he reaches the park, at which point, Incident 116, he slips and falls on a banana peel and breaks his leg. Around 5 or 6 weeks later, his leg is still in pretty bad shape, but he's able to get around with a cane to survey damage across the city. He's at the corner of Van Ness and Geary, near where he used to live, when Incident 119, his cane slips on a banana peel and he falls down. Now, if you were having trouble believing any of this, you're about to have a lot more trouble. Reportedly, his ex-fiancée happens to be nearby, sees him fall, guesses that maybe he wasn't lying about all that stuff after all, and reunites with him. They plan to get married December 19th in Columbus, Ohio. While walking up the aisle during the ceremony, Incident 128, he slips and falls on a banana peel. Lytle and his fiancée both conclude that he's cursed and that it would be bad news for her to marry into this cruel fate, and they call things off. That is 10 alleged banana peel slips and falls suffered by one William Lytle. I don't know how many of them to believe. About half of them appear to be corroborated by eyewitnesses, and this was no small-time rag that printed this. It was originally published by the Chicago Tribune and then reprinted by the Washington Post. As such, I made the somewhat difficult decision to go ahead and include them in the official tally.